So first, tell us how incredible and pristine Cuba's coral reefs are. I doubt highly that any of our listeners or viewers have had the chance to see them firsthand.
It's quite compelling, Sonali. We hear stories all the time of how nature used to be, and that's the way it is in Cuba. I'm getting feedback. I'm going to turn this down. We were compelled to go there because what you described as a virtually non-existent tourism industry, it does exist, but it's been mostly Europeans and Canada, those countries that have had diplomatic relations with Cuba. But what you have to remember is it's been minimal, and besides none of the things going on, there's been no development. One of the great shots I felt was kind of a non-shot taken from the balcony of the Copacabana Hotel of what in the USA would be prime billion-dollar waterfront real estate. It's untouched since 1959. It's ruins. What they have a word in Cuba, derrumba, which translates, I think it's idiomatic. It translates to implosion, which is what's happening to their just incredibly beautiful architecture now. They have begun to take steps to repair some of old Havana Vieja. But it's a slow process, and I think that normalizing relations at this point is going to help that effort. It's just, you have to assume the one reason we wanted to dive in Havana first is that it is an urban center, and every time you get a concentration of humanity, you're going to have some effect on nature. And you have to assume that their infrastructure is so nominal, minimal, and on many levels non-existent. You have to that all their waste is direct drive into the ocean. So that was a concern. You can find an isolated rock in the world, and you'll have a pristine reef. But to compare that to an urban setting in Cuba was our objective. So we dove there first. Sure enough, if you get out to a depth of 40 feet, which is maybe a half mile offshore, it's pretty much barren rubble bottom. As soon as you get to the 40-foot drop, it's perfect. Biodiversity is optimal. All the species are there. They've even discovered species they thought were extinct, both on the reef and on dry land.